Welcome again to another video. This is Kevin, the Traveling Tech, and today I wanted to discuss a topic, and titling this video, do black men hate America or do they just want better options? And I thought about this topic because I was listening to BigTruck Reviews. Shout out to him. He's a brother that I admire, and I really like his his Passport Bro content. As I mentioned on another video, I really like his definition of a passport bro, be it saying that a passport bro or passport bros are black men who travel overseas to find a wife or a long-term relationship. Again, just not there to mess around or be a trick. But if that's what you want to do, I mean, hey, every man can do whatever he wants. But we just want to clarify what a passport bro is. And he was talking about this particular article by Mia Barker. Passport bros are the latest troubling product of the manosphere. Okay, and although the overall I enjoyed the video that he put up, there's just a couple of things there that I would like to rebut him on. And and it's okay to have disagreements with people. Okay, we're not monolithic in the way that we think. That means you're just a lemming, and we don't want to do that. So when it comes down to certain things that someone says, I mean, if you don't agree, you don't agree, and then you leave stuff. You leave comments, and stuff like that in the comment section about what you disagree with, and things like that. And there's always a way to do that, and also with being respectful. Now, I know in times past, I think I said something that I rebutted him on, and although I wasn't trolling, it was pretty much just a difference of opinion. And then he came back later on a video and he called me a sycophantic a-hole, but hey, whatever. I'm Gen Z, I'm Gen X rather, and I think he's Gen Z. And a lot of times you can tell what generation some men come from simply by the way they respond to things, and also by where people are, in the country, because you'll find that people in certain parts of the country, although they can be very smart. Again, Big Truck, he's actually very smart with a lot of things, which is why I admire him. Okay, he's also very entertaining. But with a lot of people, they just seem to get stupid when it comes to politics or some other things that they talk about. So on this right here, before he actually got into his content about passport bros being the latest trolling product of the manosphere, he said that most black men hate America. And I just want to push back on that. So I just want to play this clip that he said on this particular part in fair use.
So here you've got a situation where you got black males, they place down and they're trying to destroy the whole fucking place. And from a distance, you'd watch this and you'd be like, why are these people acting like that? Why are these people trying to destroy where they live? Well, let me say it one more time. The average black male hates this fucking place. I hope I got that point across. So,
all right. So, and that was the second time he said it. And let me back this up just a little bit and pardon the profanity.
Or what you call their own community. And you see, whoever's agenda it is, they're doing the exact same thing to you if you're a white male. They're doing the exact same thing to you that they did to blacks already. So the average black male, and I'll be perfectly honest, the average black male hates this fucking place. I'll be perfectly honest. Why? Because they see that they literally set up communities to create second-class citizens and then perpetuate their birth, whether the father is there or not. And I'm gonna just say that one more time because it gives me joy to say it. the average black male hates this fucking place. I want to just say it like that. Because
Okay, so, and he says, and it gives him joy to say it. Now, I don't think black men overall hate America, particularly for the reasons that he said. All right, setting things up to call us, to call blacks second-class citizens. I mean, no, I think if you're in India, when you're in a caste system, when you have the aptitude to be at the top, but you can't because of a caste that you were born in, okay, that would be a reason to maybe hate where you are. Okay, and you do see Indians coming over here, for a better life if they can. A lot of people still come to America for a better life. It's really difficult to hate the country that you're born in if you really don't have a point of reference to, towards anything else. Because, people are trying to come here. We're not necessarily trying to get out of America except either to visit or to exercise the power of our dollar elsewhere. All right, but we're not going to another country for more opportunities. Okay, like people are coming here. We're going to other countries to either live because our dollar goes further. So do black men hate America or they just want better options? I believe they just want better options. If you look at the latest data, and I did look this up before I started, going on this video, I wanted to make sure that, that he was lying or he didn't know what he was talking about on this, because it's not true. All right. Because if you look at the latest, CNN just had a poll that said, like in 2001, I think it said that 90% of Republicans, about 90% of Republicans were proud to be an American, in 2001. And in 2026, it's still at 90%. However, when it comes to the Democrat Party, they went from 85% being proud to be an American to 29% in 2026. And again, if you have never even visited another country, how do you have a point of reference to say you hate your own? Because most people, once they get out of here and they actually go to another country and they start living the way locals live, they want to come back. All right, women don't have the same rights as they do here. Neither do gay or homosexuals or the LGBT community. They don't have the same rights here either in other countries. Okay, if you're a Christian, there are a lot of countries you can't go to where Christianity is accepted. They don't accept gay people. Women still have to have their heads covered. Okay, women that live here, they want men to take care of them. But if they go elsewhere, all right, those men aren't able to do it because the dollar doesn't go as far. So he's saying, the black men hate this place because we've been set up to be second-class citizens, and it's something that perpetuates. And that's true. Okay, but even if it was set up that way, you're not put there as, or like a caste system as in India. Oh, you're an undesirable. Okay, then this is where you're going to be, for the rest of your life. Okay, it's not like that here. Okay, so because people come from all over the world penniless, okay, and they can become millionaires. It still exists. That's the beauty of capitalism, where things aren't set. It's all about, just what can you provide? People need services. People need things done. You see a problem. How can I solve that problem? Because if I solve that problem, I can get paid. Okay, and we're in a situation right now in America where the amount of money that we make is not keeping up with the cost of living. This is why people are probably, why they're turning to communism and things like that, because they don't see a way out. They don't see how they can get ahead. And indeed, in the 90s, when I was coming up, when I, early, a young man, you could work at McDonald's, and you could still afford a $600 a month efficiency. Nothing like that right now in 2026. Okay, and this is why young people are so discouraged, about the way things are. So, and you can't blame them, for that either. So, it's going to behoove for the most part, anybody that we elect as president or going forward, if they can solve that particular problem, that's what people are looking for. People just want to live. Okay, and if they're gonna work, they want to make sure that, hey, if I'm working myself to death, it's got to be worth it. All right, so people don't black men do not hate America. All right, everybody hates the fact that we are working harder than we ever have, and many of us are making more money than we ever have, and it's like we're not getting anywhere because things are so expensive. That's what we hate. Okay, but if you go to other countries, okay, and see how they live, we got it pretty good. All right. Again, I go to the Philippines. BigTruck, he's going to be going to Vietnam in a few days. All right, because he keeps posting a countdown that keeps coming across my feed, so it's not like I'm just hate watching or anything like that. But his posts come across my feed because I'm subscribed to him, and he's doing his Vietnam countdown. Now, people who live there, the locals, their thing is like a lot of other countries, like Mexico, for example, maybe even the Philippines. When Americans come there or people from Western Europe come there, they gentrify the place because they're bringing all of this money and they're pricing the locals out. Okay, but if you live like the locals, you probably wouldn't want to be there. For example, if you're in the Philippines, yes, your dollar goes far, but if you live like the locals, okay, you're looking at you don't have hot water in your bathroom. You use this thing called oh goodness, it escapes me, a billet or something like that, where there's just a bucket of water, along with the toilet, and you take a bath, and you do your business all in one shot. Okay, and you have this little ladle that you use, to pour over your head, and that water is cold. It's ice cold. All right, you have brownouts, where the electricity isn't necessarily on 24/7. The things that they eat really aren't conducive to good health. I mean, you look at the Filipinos, majority of them are thin, okay, but the average age of their people over there is around 35. Diabetes is a big deal over there because they eat all those carbs. Their staple is rice, and then they fry a lot of things. You go into a lot of places, there's not a lot of stoves. They don't do a lot of baking. Okay, it's a lot of stir fry. All right, whether it's vegetables, it's rice. I mean, and pasta, things like that. So, if you want to live like the locals, okay, you're going to find yourself highly disappointed, and they don't have a huge variation on their foods. When you go there, if you eat like them, if you live like the locals, you can live cheap because it'll be under $1,000 a month, but most people won't want to live like that. So, black men do not hate America. They just hate the fact that our money isn't going as far as it used to go. And everybody hates that, not just black people. Okay. And another thing that I say too, I mean, if you're a passport bro, these same black men that you say hate America, they'll criticize you for being a passport bro, and they've never even left America. So again, how can you hate a place when you don't have any reference to compare it to another place? And the devil is better than the one that you don't. Okay, so when they're comparing America to other places, when you go to Vietnam, the Philippines, Myanmar, these different places, you're really just talking about the cost of living. You can't get a job in the Philippines. Okay, you go to Costa Rica, another beautiful place, but the way they have it set, if the only way you're going to get a job there is if there's not a local who can do that job. Not so in America. They're just looking for the cheapest person. Okay, so I would say the BigTruck, hey, the same country that gave you the means to even travel to another country, all right, is America. Okay, so in a way, that's like biting the hand that feeds you. And he has property here. So why are you, hating on the country that gave you so much, that gave you the ability to travel. Okay, so I just want to say that, look, this is why men, especially black men, because black people are expected to vote Democrat. They won't give you the freedom to think how you want. Okay, they all expect you to be tribalist, and just say, just because we're black, we've got to stick together. Absolutely not. Okay, every man should think and do whatever he wants to do for him, what works best for you. All right, culture and experiences are going to shape your mindset and your perspective, on how you do things. Here, as a black man, they call you a sellout, if you don't agree, if you don't hold the line. But I bet if you go to Africa, you don't find that. Where all black people are, they hear you talking, they know you're a foreigner, they know you're an American. They're going to treat you as if you were a white person. So you may as well appreciate where you are. Okay, thank God for the opportunity. Stack your money here how you can. Vote your interests. Okay, because honestly, if you want to vote for low taxes when you got a lot of money, it behooves you to vote for a Republican. So it's not about facts. When people say these things, it's all about feelings, because people think things are so unfair, and they're not fair, but life's not fair. Okay, but hey, when my generation, Gen X, most of us, hey, look, we grew up like that. It wasn't fair that our parents broke up. It wasn't fair that we had to walk home alone. It wasn't fair that we had to take care of our younger siblings. It wasn't fair that we were latchkey kids. Okay, but that shaped us. All right. So now when things come, we just take them as they come. All right. So at least that's the way I feel about it. So nowadays you can see a lot of these brothers, they're as emotional as women, and because that's who raised them, and that's why they get killed all the time. They're very emotional instead of thinking. All right. And Thomas Sowell said one time, it doesn't matter how smart you are if you don't take time to think. Okay. So that's pretty much all I really want to say about this. Again, you ready to travel, go travel. Life isn't promised to you. The moment you get some money, and you're able to get out of America, get out of the matrix, just to see how other people live. Okay. Awesome. I say go do it. All right. But to me, there's still no place like home. I love the Philippines, but it's not a place that I want to stay full time, at least not right now. So I still love America. America's still giving me a whole bunch of opportunities. Racism or, discrimination, none of that has never stopped me. Okay. And I'm not the type of person that goes around blaming, and being a victim. I got things to do. I got places to go. All right. And I know how to get there. And as long as the government doesn't stand in my way, I'm there. So that's all I have. Thanks for watching.